Okay, we should be live now. Hello, world. We are waiting on people, and then we'll begin. Ari had to go pick up fast food for her spoiled dog, Leroy. He will only eat fast food right now, we've been told. He is sick and only will eat fast food, chicken tenders, and fries. This is what Ari has told us, so...
Fucking. Sometimes I think I got born as the wrong animal.
Okay, this is up. I made my posts. Posts. Yes, okay. Wait, where's my YouTube live stream? Here it is. Here it is. Now, I have also added, in the corner of the stream, will be the Twitch chat. The Twitch chat will be in the top left corner of the screen. I may maneuver it somewhere else in the future, but I've just thrown it into there for now. Honestly, I don't remember why we removed the chat. Because I think we had it in the early streams, but I think I remade the scene and I just never added that back in, and then we just dealt with it. I think that's exactly what happened. So, now that's there. Welcome, Galaxy. We're still waiting on Ari and Shadow. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I took a little peek into the Eternal Edition to take a couple screenshots of the colored pages that I posted in the spoiler chat, and the more I'm looking through it, the more I'm just like, I should have just read that version instead of the version we're reading. Okay, it's rough. Okay, it's rough, the version we're reading. Welcome, Shadow. Okay, gotta get some... Hello. I was just trying to make sure you're still here. You're here, right? Words.
I am indeed here.
Okay, cool. Amazing. Alright, and then I have everything showing up here. Everything is good. I don't like how Reactive Fugi does not use server-specific... Like, if you set your picture in a server to be a different icon in that server, it doesn't use that. I think I realized this the other, like, weeks ago, but I've had it set to the Umineko PNG tuber for my face in this server for ages, since we got those. But Reactive Fugi doesn't recognize it because it's not my actual photo, so it doesn't, it doesn't like it. Maybe if I make a new thing, maybe if I make a new scene called Book Club, where I can just override my shit. Oh, it doesn't let you do anything until you override at least one thing. Alright, well, you know what? Maybe die.
I didn't even know you could have server-specific pictures.
Well, now you do, and knowing is half the battle.
You can if you have Nitro, I think.
Oh, was it a Nitro-specific thing? I wouldn't know. I just always have had Nitro, so...
Couldn't beat me.
I use Discord mostly the same way I used to use Twitter, which is to just have a bunch of things I follow for updates.
And here we are.
When I look at Reactive Fugi, okay, if the Reactive Fugi devs are ever listening to me, okay, you motherfuckers, alright, you will allow me, you will grant me the ability to override everybody else's photographs, okay, everybody else's avatars, but you will not allow me to override mine without making an entirely different collection here. Why would you do this to me? Why? So, I don't know why they've done this, but anyways. Welcome, Ari. Probably.
Leroy has eaten his Zaxby's. Hashtag not sponsored.
Oh my god. I wish we were sponsored.
Yeah, it's just finished, I think.
Now, did you bring enough for the whole class? Did you bring enough for everybody?
No, I got him a kids meal that had 2 chicken tenders and fries.
2 whole tenders? For one
It also
dog?
came It also came with a little Rice Krispie treat.
What? Bro. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Did he get a toy too? What is this?
I don't know. I don't think we gave him all of the chicken tenders because I was suggesting get like a 4 or 5 one, and then like have that be his like weekend meal. One
Right.
tender a day. But we just ended up getting a kitty meal.
Oh, damn.
I like to
But that's
mention
a doggy,
Arya
not a
have
kitty.
revoked the fact that Leroy got a toy.
Listen, he used to be a good boy who loved his grandma's cooking. He
Uh-huh.
loved gravy. He loved sweet potatoes. Now he only wants fried chicken and
Me
French
too.
fries.
Me too. Me too.
Like just a recent development, like in the past week.
Bro, what happened to Kibble?
I don't think he has touched his dog food in a month or two. To be
What are you
fair,
done, Ari?
he's like almost 15 years old, so the teeth aren't really chewing good anymore. But that's my dog update.
Wow. Well, did Leroy do the reading? Huh. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, you revoked or deny this fact either, Ari.
Quite curious.
Listen,
I'm starting to notice a pattern here.
he's like what 90 in Chihuahua years. He ain't reading nothing.
He could if he applied himself, but it's
Yeah,
it's
it-
You know,
fine.
I got some glasses to match yours.
All right. Are we ready to go? Do we have any other memes before we start?
I'm dying, so I might not be talking too much. Sorry.
Okay, don't die. That's a rule of book club. You're not allowed to die, actually. It's kind
I'm
of
doing my best, Jeff. Okay, I'm doing my best.
all right. I believe in you. All right, I'm gonna take off the pre-show and we're gonna get going. Everybody's here. Everybody's ready, right? There's nobody stalling, nobody problems or whatever. Galaxy, are you here? I haven't heard your mic at all yet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
hi.
All right, you are here. Okay, good. I just want to make sure because we used to have somebody who showed up in our book clubs frequently. We actually saw him the other night when we were doing Pluto watch party. Turindo stopped by for a second, but sometimes he would join and his mic just wasn't working at first, and we didn't know until we started. So
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
yeah. All right, let us begin. Let me take this off. Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of the Anime Book Club here on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick all at the same time. We're here to continue our discussion of Sailor Moon. This week, we're discussing volumes 5 and 6. But before we get into that, let's introduce our cast for this week. Alphabetical order, as usual. Aztec, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Aztec, and I'm not a big fan of time travel arcs.
Yeah,
That's
gotta
that's
admit,
unfortunate.
same. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
I have no recommendations this week.
Okay, all right. It's very grim. It's I don't like time travel. I have no recommendations. Okay, all right, based. All right, next up, Sailor Arimia. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Arimia. I like shonen shit. My recommendation this week. I've been trying to get through my VN backlog because it's ginormous. And one of them I've been meaning to read for a few years now since it came out. Is called Aquadyne, and it's of course an indie one, but it's like heavily inspired by Aria. Aria the Natural, Aria the Animation, that series, where it's about these gondoliers, the people who like do the boat ferrying in like Venice and stuff. That kind of slice of life setting with some fantasy elements. And it's been pretty nice so far. It's like 200,000 words, so I'm not super far into it, but I'm a few hours into it, so I'm gonna read some more of that. It's been nice.
What was that called again?
Aquadyne. Aqua and then Dine.
Dine. Okay. All right. Well, if you're interested in that, go check that out. Aquadyne. Next up, Sailor Galaxy. Introduce yourself.
Hi, that's me. I'm Marianne or Anne, whichever you prefer. I am a fan of time travel arcs, so I
Based.
will have to
Fight.
fight both of you, I guess. I don't know. What am I recommending? Oh, I'm gonna recommend VN I played a couple weeks back now. It's called Lilacs in the Breeze.
Ooh.
I liked it a lot.
Crickets.
How dare
wow.
you?
Damn. Is there
Wow.
a meme I don't
tried
understand
to
about this?
sit here and genuinely recommend something I really enjoyed.
Thank
Damn.
you.
Damn. All right. Thank you so much for that. Go check that out if you are interested. Next up, Sailor Shino. Introduce yourself.
Yep. Hi, I'm Shino, and I guess now I have to comment on time travel arcs. I'm neutral on
Base.
it, but I'm kind of surprised how early it was in the story because it's the second
Yeah.
arc. But yeah, my recommendation for the week is My First Friend with a Zombie. There's like one chapter out right now, but it's a Yuri zombie manga, so it seems pretty promising, and the art is cute, so maybe something to check out.
Hell yeah. Go check that out if you are interested. Next up, Shadow Man V4. Introduce yourself.
I'm Shadow. When it comes to time travel arcs, it's all execution. That's it. Okay, it's a simple. It's none of this nonsense. Like, oh, it's good or it's bad. No, it's just execution. That's all that matters, mate.
It's
And
probably
I'm
true.
recommending shit.
Yeah, based. It's probably true.
Controversial.
It's probably true.
Look, that's my opinion as well. It's just like 95% of them are poorly executed.
That's because the writers
Including
suck. I
this
don't tell you.
Damn. All right. Well, thank you so much for that, Shadow. And next up, we have me, Tuxedo Borg, aka Wolfborg, aka Chaplain, aka the best anime book club host you've ever known and ever will know. That's just how that works. I don't make the rules here. I think time travel is based, although, like Shadow said, like Shadow and Aztec said, okay, it is based on execution, and in many cases, they do not do it well. I don't know if I would say they're doing it poorly here, but I do agree with whoever said the take before about it feels very early for this series to introduce this. But also we are at the halfway mark now, I guess. So what do I know? Recommendations. First of all, I have a non-recommendation. Okay, if you ever play the original Silent Hill and you are new to the series like I am, I would not recommend you do your first playthrough on hard mode. You will have a miserable time on the first playthrough. If you do this on the second playthrough, it's a lot easier because New Game Plus makes your life a lot easier if you've already beaten it on hard. So you are nerfing your experience of Silent Hill if your first exposure is playing the first game on hard mode. I think personally, as somebody who's suffered through it, okay, but you're still gonna have an enjoyable time later. So that's my non-recommendation. My actual real recommendation, I think I have. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna recommend this. I know I've recommended it before, and I've recommended it tons of times, and I talk about it all the time. Idle Story, which I'm bringing up again though, because the English release is coming out next month. The pre-orders are available right now, and you should fucking do it. I think you can pre-order volumes 1 and 2 already, and it's a very great series by the author of New Game. All right, it's 16 idol girls competing in a reality TV show contest against each other. It's very good. Go check it out. Okay, first volume coming out in English next month. That's my recommendation for that. Yeah, I think that should be it for everything. And now let's begin this week's discussion. So, Sailor Moon volumes 5 and 6. We have the end of the last arc, the Black Moon arc, and then the beginning of the arc afterwards, which what would the next arc be called? The Infinity arc or whatever? I don't know what you would officially call it, but
I don't know. It seems pretty finite to me.
What?
Seems pretty finite to me.
Oh, well, thank you for that. So, let's begin with our discussion at the end of the last arc before we get into the other things. So, we have the whole situation with Nemesis and Wise Man and Prince Demand, and Chibiusa begins being lost in time and space, and meets up with the wise man, and then the next time we see her, she is fucked up and evil Chibiusa, calling herself Black Lady. Many things come to mind with this change. One, I think it can be a kind of cool idea with making the cute little child character now the fucked up and evil bad guy. However, I don't know if we did it very well. I understand why they had her call herself Black Lady, but also it's fine. It's fine. But okay, that aside, how are we feeling about what's going on with Chibiusa, gang? What are our thoughts about Chibiusa?
Well, the part where it's heavily implied she wants to get with her dad is kind of,
Yes! I was like, what the fuck is going on with this? She's like, Endymion is mine now. He's my man. And I was like, what the fuck? That's your dad. What do you mean? What are you doing? What's happening?
She's
if it
evil.
stopped there, it's like, sure, we can still, like, she's just possessive of her dad, but nah, then she just goes on fucking tongue.
Like, I understand. So the reason why they did that, I understand why they did it. They did it because of the earlier bits where Usagi was being jealous of Chibiusa being close with fucking Mamoru. But it doesn't have to go that far. What the fuck? I don't know what we were cooking with that. It was just fuck you. I'm growing up now. I'm going to steal your man now, regardless of if he's literally my dad, I guess. Weird, very weird with that. Don't understand that. Other thoughts with Chibiusa. Other thoughts. Or Black Lady, whatever you want to call them. They're listed as two separate characters on AniList, by the way, which I guess makes sense. I do like her design as a villainess. I do enjoy her like grown up and fucked up and evil design. She doesn't really get to last that long though, because she's just like, I'm fucked up and evil now. I can kind of walk into the Crystal Palace now. Fucked up and evil shit's happening. She gets both the crystals for like a second, and then Pris Demand just kind of yoinks them, and then almost tries to blow everything up for memes.
For the Vine.
That was the thing I wanted to mention. So we had the whole, everything going on with Wise Man and how he's like brainwashing manipulating / brainwashing these people to doing what he wants, including Chibiusa. And it had seemed like Prince Demand and his brother were breaking out of this brainwashing to be like, hey, wait a minute, you're just fucking using us. And I was like, oh, are they going to join the good guys? And he immediately like grabbed the stones. It was like, I'm going to blow everyone up. It's like, oh, all right, well.
You can't trust anyone now, okay?
Yeah.
The paranoia is taking over. I'm main spooky now.
I actually appreciate that. Prince Demand is such a consistent fuck up that the moment he switches sides, he has to.
Was there a line earlier from somebody else, or am I thinking of a different character where he said all of your plans seem to fail towards the end? I don't remember if that was this.
No,
was
that
that
was
this-
his brother.
brother
was
said that.
him? Okay, all right. So yes,
I think
so
it
that's
might have been to say. I think it might have been to Usagi that he said it, but he
Oh.
definitely said like, yeah, all of my brother's plans, they never work out.
right.
Ever.
I just love that, like, the moment he's finally under control, the bad guy is like, you know what, fuck you.
And not only that, he's like, okay, I'm gonna blow everything up. Fucking Pluto is like, let me just stop time real quick. Pro gamer move. I can stop time.
It's an advanced technique.
Except it is an ultimate sacrifice meme. So Pluto fucking died. We had a death. Well, had a death. I will say.
Spoilers.
Oh my god. Can you believe it? What the fuck?
Also, like, on that side, haven't we been rezzing people for, like, the entire series?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
yeah, it just
hard
felt,
to tell when the villain
Depends on the
stays dead or not.
I just feel like future Sailor Moon doesn't give a shit.
Well, future Sailor Moon throughout most of this was still crystallized, and then towards the end she was like, "Thank you everybody for everything. Goodbye." And then
No,
we're like,
I
"Okay,
totally loved you, my daughter, the entire time. I just didn't show it until you had
Yeah.
superpowers.
yeah, that." And then okay,
Yeah.
they end the arc. Chibiusa flies home. It's a very sad moment where like Usagi's all upset about it. Chibiusa goes home, and then she comes back with a note saying, "Hey, so my mom just kind of said you guys are my parents now." So I was like, "Wait, what do you mean? Wait."
I mean, it's technically
that-
true.
There was a part of that panel of them reading that was Mamoru going, "Future Usagi definitely sent that letter." And it's like, that is the truest statement you
Yeah.
said in several chapters. Like, yeah, that is Usagi. Yeah. It's a terrible thing to do, but that's definitely that's our protagonist.
Yeah.
Look, I need
So-
some alone time with my husband for a bit. Take the kid.
There was so much, happening, and now I'm finally out of the crystal. Okay, so you guys could keep Chibiusa. We're busy with stuff up here. Just train her to be a sailor soldier. Okay, good luck.
Speaking of that time part,
Yes.
I just stepped away a bit, but I want to see the different varying opinions on like time travel arcs in general.
I thought we went through that already.
Did y'all?
Well,
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm the only
well,
one to taste.
Well,
But I mean-
so how do I put this? When it comes to time travel arcs, as applied to here, it's something where I can understand its use. I just feel like it was a very half-baked ideas for how it should work in order to do certain things with the plot, such as give Usagi a child when she's still 14. How do we do this? Well, we do this. Okay, now we need Chibiusa to have a fucked up and evil arc. Okay, how do we do this right now? Time travel can make this possible. And I was like, okay, maybe that's an interesting thing. Okay, we're using time travel. She's like all grown up now. She's gone through a whole bunch of stuff because space-time bullshit. And then we're just like, okay, but yeah, Pluto can stop time, and then she fucking dies. There's no like ramifications for anything time travel related with all of this. The only thing they're saying is like, we cannot let young Sailor Moon and old Neo Space Queen meet up together. Neo Serenity, we can't have them meet up together, even though they just do talk to each other towards the end.
Look,
I don't listen. It's one of those things where the author wanted to do time travel memes for them to interact with newer characters without any of the ramifications or consequences of time travel, like as a thing. I guess I don't know.
We need to get to B, so how do we do it as fast as possible?
You're like,
They
look,
kind of vaguely acknowledge the potential consequences of a time travel arc occasionally,
Yeah.
but it really
Mhm.
is just more like, all right, we needed a reason for this shit to happen, so let's fucking go. We don't got the time to worry about all that.
because in my head,
my
I'm
only
thinking to
requirement
myself,
for a time travel arc is internal logical consistency.
okay,
Like, if you say one thing, it just has to continue being true, and
Right.
they failed so much.
I'm just like, okay, there's like a lot that can happen when we're going to between then to the 30th fucking century, where if you're making a change in the past, it should have a lot of big changes in the future. But also, I don't know, moon people live for eternity, so fuck if I know how much is actually supposed to be changing from these things. I mean, I think it's also different because the characters are involved are literally the characters in the future too. Like it's
Yeah.
Tuxedo Mask and Sailor Moon. So anything that's happening with them in this fight or this arc should also be affecting them in the future too. Unless we're doing
Sailor
parallel
Moons
universe
can't meet,
bullshit.
but the Tuxedo Mask can.
No, problem.
You know-
They specifically mentioned they're changing the future, so it's not parallel universes.
Yeah, so so that's where I'm confused. So I'm like, okay, so should they know everything that's about to happen and know how to defeat
Yeah,
this thing?
Was
or-
this a canon event? Has this happened already?
Yeah, that's my thing about this specific instance of it, because I'm typically kind of like about time travel stuff, even though it's a very popular thing, but because like here it's very much like, okay, well, why didn't the queen know about this if we're going to
Well, they
say
did
that?
say initially that this was a result of Chibiusa being sent back and the villains coming here in the first place. Wasn't something that happened before.
But it has to have been something that happened if doing something in the past can affect the future. That's how it works.
Yes, so that's where we get confused with it, because we're just like, is it parallel universes? And then, like Shadow said, it does affect the future. So, like, because if them going into the past and messing with the past is supposed to affect the future, but we're dealing with parallel universes, it's not supposed to actually affect Neo, Serenity, and that king in the future. It's supposed to affect that current world where Sailor Moon came from, and then their future that would eventually happen, which in theory would be different as a result of these actions happening. But I don't know. I think it's one of those things where I tried not to think too hard about it at a certain point, because I was just like, it's just plot devices with these memes at this point, with not too much thought put into them. So I try not to worry too much about it, and I instead just focused on, okay, we had some excuse for like them to do something more different with Chibiusa, I guess, even though it didn't last long. I thought it was interesting, at least. I don't know.
I feel like the fact that basically our cast from, well, the modern day cast, we don't really get to see their future versions that much, so it's kind of hard to tell whether it's a
they're just
canon
lying on
event
a
and
table.
stuff or not.
That was a recurring theme for me for this week, was not only do we not really get a peek into the other Sailor Soldiers' futures, we also didn't really get that much of them in the even when we went to the current arc too. We got like a little bit for a very, very minuscule amount for Ray, and then for Sailor Mercury, but it wasn't too much. Because we were focused on the new arc and the new characters we were introduced. But I was like, man, we really did start the series and then just like introduce the whole team at breakneck speed, and then only focused on Usagi for the rest of it. I was like, well, I mean, there's still time. There's still time.
Oh.
I cope. Yeah. Because I thought it would have been really cool if we had, that whole future squad. I thought that was going to be eventually how we tried to end this big battle, is we had the past squad team up with the future squad to defeat the big bad. That was not at all the case, which is fine. I just kind of thought that was where it's going to go, but I'm not mad that it didn't go that way. But I just want to learn more about fucking Mercury, Mars, Jupiter. I don't get to learn about them. It's just go read Sailor V, codename Sailor V, if you want to learn more about Venus, I guess. I don't know. Maybe the side stories, because I know there's side stories. I found this out when I peered through the Eternal Edition to take screenshots of some of the colored pages for the chapters. And the Eternal Edition has the Sailor Moon short stories, which were released originally as separate volume. It was like 2 separate volumes that had like short stories, and some of which focused on specific characters. So that just made me more like, man, maybe we really should have read that edition, because it has those bonus memes. So I don't fucking know. Yeah, time travel wise, yeah, it's second arc of the series. We've introduced this, and it was primarily just to give us a small child. And introduce the big bad being from the future, but then we didn't really do. I think if you're going to introduce a whole future arc thing, it should be for more than just introducing new characters. It should be to actually play around with that concept of it. But I don't know. Well, overall,
my bigger issue this one was like, the time travel. I'm kind of about it, just because that's just me with the entire concept of it in stories. But I think one of my bigger issues with these volumes, and preface with, I like Sailor Moon. I like the reading, but some of of the pacing in these chapters were especially interesting, mainly in the earlier ones. Because once we get with Haruka and
Michiru.
Michiru,
Yep.
once we
Haruka,
get
Tano, and Michiru Kaya.
yeah, once we get to the lesbians, it gets a lot better in pacing and other reasons. But also, like, it kind of feels like we learn more about Haruka and Michiru
Yes.
than, like, the other sailors.
Yes,
But
that
that's
was a
another
huge
stuff
thing
we
I was gonna bring up. Yes, we new characters. They're super interesting. We actually got to have screen time as they're introduced. I was like, whoa, this is refreshing. Holy fuck.
we get to actually have, like, time with them before they're properly introduced.
Yeah.
But my main thing was like when we're still in the previous arc, the time travel one, some of the pacing was kind of just up in the air. Like there was the part where Pluto stops time and tells Usagi to go get the silver crystals was especially paced weird to me because it's like she made it out to be like this big thing, like Usagi, you have to go get the crystals and stuff. And
She just
there's a
kind of walks
panel of
over.
Usagi looking over her shoulder, prances over there, snatches them, comes back. Okay, Pluto, I did it. I'm like,
Listen,
I thought this was gonna be like some big thing or something. Like she just.
It also
didn't
seemed a bit
2 feet.
arbitrary
Oh, we
about
got
who
shit to
actually
do. We
got
gotta
stopped
go.
in time.
Yeah, she
but
just
it's like-
chose to freeze everybody but Sailor Moon and like their squad in time. I guess I don't know.
But it's
It's
one of those things
selective
where it's
for some
like,
reason.
okay, this could have been like something bigger where there's a fight or something, or this could have just been cut quicker. Like, Pluto stops time and Usagi immediately runs to go get the silver crystals because everyone knows it's bad
Yeah,
if these two connect. Why
What-
do we have to pause and have this speech about it and then go get it real quick and just.
what I
that
thought
was just
was
one of the examples.
I thought what was gonna happen there was Pluto stops time. Everybody is frozen. Everybody, but she is able to. Pluto herself is able to speak to Usagi in some way to be able to say, "I have stopped time for everybody. Once time continues, you must stop the crystals from connecting right now. You have to lock in, figure out a way to believe in yourself to stop it now." Because this is the only chance you get. You got to figure it out now while time is frozen. Otherwise, shit's fucked. All right, good luck. And then she was going to die. Time was going to continue. And then Usagi was going to lock in and take it out. But no, it was just like you said. She's just kind of like, oh, I have to go get that. All right, let me go there real quick. Like dusts off her like skirt or whatever, walks over, takes a nice stroll, checks her phone, grabs the crystals, goes back. Like it felt like, oh, all right, I got him. All right, all set, right? Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, that I was like, well, I will say this, okay? I was like, whoa, Pluto is an interesting character, a new sailor soldier that we got introduced. I can't wait to learn more about her. Oh, she's dead. Oh, well, we got to see like a little bit of backstory between her like hanging out with Chibiusa and her crush for Tuxedo Mask, which everybody seems to have a crush for Tuxedo Mask. And
Who wouldn't want a piece of this man?
and then she's just fucking dead. So I'm like, oh, well, rip to a new character being introduced and having some development or whatever. But I mean, now it sounds like she's coming back. So what do I know? Yeah.
My
is she?
other early complaint about the time traveling arc is I was disappointed to see that Chibiusa didn't really have any growth of her own.
Yep.
And tangentially also Usagi, that they didn't that the end result was not Chibiusa like overcoming her own like self-doubt or anything. It was pretty much just Usagi going, "No, I do actually love you. Please come back." And Chibiusa kind of being snapped from the spell. I wish it was more of her like getting her powers because of some self-realization rather than your 14-year-old version of your mom saying that she loves you,
Yeah.
Like, I do understand that is part of their ongoing arc of like Usagi just being a bitch to Chibiusa, but you know, she's pretty.
Yeah, I was trying to think through it. I was just like, I'm like, they haven't her have a fucked up and evil arc, and now she's got to break out of it and get her unlock her real powers. And it's like, okay, but how are we going to do this right now without her actual mom present? Because it seemed like her actual mom was the reason for a lot of the issues she was having. I mean, Usagi is her actual mom, but it's obviously not the same. In that vein with this, like, I don't know. More. I wanted, it's needed more. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the fact that Naoko Takeuchi, and that's how you say her name, right? I don't know if it was just the fact that she didn't realize, she started this arc having expected the series to end with the last arc, so maybe she was told to introduce a new child character, so she did, and didn't really think through how she wanted it to go later on with how we want to develop her with these kind of things in a satisfying. I mean, maybe she was satisfied with how she developed her. I don't know, but I think for myself, I would have enjoyed more so a different kind of approach for unlocking her, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I wanted, but I just wanted more than that. I like, with some of these arcs, I'm just like, okay, all they got to do, just believe themselves. That's all they got to do. Once they believe themselves, they lock in, they get their new powers, they defeat the big bad.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I think what I want more is I want us to believe in ourselves for more meaningful ways. I don't know. Yeah.
I do feel like the arc kind of would make sense as like a finale if she thought it was gonna end. It's like you have a whole mega epic time travel thing. Oh, new friend goes by. No, new friend is back. The adventures continue. The end.
Is every arc going to be her going, well, I thought it would be done by now?
That'd be very funny,
I
though.
believe it. I believe it.
I can say, at least having watched the anime, I don't think it lasts quite the same way with this next arc.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, then you can drag me out in the street.
We will.
But okay, good. Yeah. It really does feel like these first couple arcs really do just feel like, all right, well, let's get through what we're going to get through, and what you want more. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say, at least this third arc that we've started this week, I'm enjoying it way more than the last two arcs already so far, I think. But how do I say this? I think it's just because I've grown accustomed to how we were doing things before, and now if I get literally anything slightly better than that, I'm going to love it. Maybe, I don't know. I think my main thing with the I think the third arc, the pacing, I enjoyed a lot more. I think that's the biggest thing about that than the other ones. But I don't know. With the second arc that we just had, I enjoyed Chibiusa as like a new character. I just wish we did something more for her awakening of her powers. I enjoyed Pluto a lot and was disappointed, but understand why they had to, for the arc, have her sacrifice herself. Because I remember us reading the afterword where the author is just like, I wanted to have my characters fucking die and they won't let me. And now she's like, oh, finally I get to have it happen. But it was for like a new character that we didn't have time to learn. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I wanted to learn more about her. So I guess in that sense, you have accomplished your goal of making me heartbroken. So okay. I had notes for reveals of this last arc. What did we have here? We already went through Prince Demand trying to nuke everything, Pluto stopping time. Wise Man, as we suspected, was that Death Phantom. But not only that, they are literally revealed to be the planet Nemesis itself. Somehow, I don't remember how it was explained, but this person has become.
I think it was like they were a person and then they died and got trapped like within the planet.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
they're
it
like
happens.
Their evil
yeah,
incarnation.
it happened to me once.
Their malicious intent has just made them the entirety of this planet, and they're like, I'm going to destroy everything now. And then
Y'all remember the Moon's Haunted meme?
Yes.
Yeah, like
Yes.
Jumon.
Cut
Yes.
shotgun.
Yeah. I think too, once we have our characters lock in, when we have Usagi and Chibi Usa are like, okay, we're ready to defeat Nemesis. And then they do their powerful attack, and then the planet's just evaporated in like one panel. I was like, oh.
Success.
I feel like I would have enjoyed this a lot in the anime, but it's one panel in the manga. I don't know. I get it. We want to say we defeat the big bad and move on, but I don't know, because we have a lot of these shots in this manga that are really, really good. Mostly the character focused shots. But you know, when it comes to the fights or whatever, especially if we're destroying an entire fucking planet, I don't know. I think it had a couple cool shots of like Death Phantom's like head in the planet, I think. But yeah, I was just like, okay, I guess that's done now. All right, I guess they woke up back on. I think there was. I was trying to remember. I think I was confused at the very beginning of this week's reading because they just woke up back at home at first. And
Yeah.
I think I was like, what happened? Why are we back home now? I thought we were doing big bad fights. What has happened? And-
Wasn't that because Usagi got like trapped in the dreamscape or whatever it was?
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, so I was very confused. I was like, wait, are we dreaming? Wait, what's going on here? And then she's having these like memories of Chibi Usa, and then they're like, okay, we're getting called over by Pluto. We have to go talk to Pluto, and Pluto's like, yes. Yeah, so Chibi Usa and Tuxedo Mask, they're like gone. Like, oh, where'd they go? Well, she took my time key, and they're just gone. And Tuxedo Mask went to try to find her. He's gone now too. And then she just shows up as, I'm fucked up evil now, and also my father is now my man now. Fuck you, Usagi. Okay, well, I guess you win. I don't know.
There's something I'd like to mention about this scene that I find very funny.
Yep.
They say her full name. It's Usagi SL Serenity. And the first thing I realized is like, wait, is Small Lady her middle name? And if so, that's very funny.
Well, I had just assumed it was one of those, like, you say somebody's nickname instead of their middle name memes. I'm assuming that's what that was, but I'd like to think they didn't actually make her middle name SL. That sounds like a fucking sub that you would order, but I don't know. But also...
Listen, with these two.
But also...
Imagine naming your kid after your fucking Subway order.
Ah, yes.
No,
Good
no,
old
your
steak
mother
and cheese,
really
Andy.
loved you. She loved you.
She had some serious cravings.
That or she said, okay, you're gonna be short forever. Have fun, kid.
Mrs. BLT, I understand.
Nominative determinism at its absolute worst.
Okay, so we wrap up that last arc. Was there anything notable to say? Oh, I want to ask a question. Can I get a sanity check here? What happened to the sword?
What's
Yeah.
The moon sword?
Oh,
What happened to the sword?
The
That was a big deal
sword.
last time.
Yeah, you know.
The sword.
I was like,
Well,
do we have a-
it's
do we
still
have a
kinda
legendary
heavy.
sword? Okay, all
it
right.
scratched the tile in
True.
what's
And
her
it broke.
name's apartment, so
Yep,
it had
okay.
to go.
Okay, all right. I was just because I remember we had a thing later on in the next arc where Venus goes to fight somebody, and I was like, okay, so she's gonna pull out the sword, right? Was she the one that had the sword, or was that Makoto? I couldn't remember at the time, but then the sword didn't come out, so I was like, oh, so what happened to the sword? Where's the sword? Where'd the sword go? Do we just
You know.
It's fine. That was 2 arcs ago. Don't have to worry about it. We move on from that.
There is no sword shaft. I don't know what you're talking about.
Why are
We
you
got
worried
new.
about it?
We get new moves every arc though. They keep saying new powers that they have. They don't look like different things happen, but they're saying different things.
And that's
Or maybe-
what matters.
I think we've evolved in certain ways. I think like Venus used to say like wink chain or something like that, and now she says like wink flame thing. I don't remember. It's like slightly different by like one word with some of these abilities.
I think you know it's better.
And
Yeah, it's a lot harder to remember when you're not hearing these words being said for every attack for several episodes.
yeah. And then after the last arc, Neo, Queen, whatever, Serenity is like, okay, I will unlock your full powers now as thanks for what you've done. I'm like, okay, that would have been nicer to have, in the middle of all this. But there's probably reasons why you couldn't do it because you were trapped in ice or whatever. That's fine. But
She
now
was
they got
a little busy.
a little busy. That's fine. But now they've upgraded. I didn't pay attention to see if it actually changed their outfits at all, but I think they're supposed to have like more powerful auras or some shit, I guess.
The outfits are basically the same, I think.
I think they're what is it, the brooch or whatever? They're like the what they use to transform is supposed to be slightly different now. But I think there
Gotta
was like
sell more merch.
was
Yep.
that say that? Yeah, okay.
Oh, gotta sell more merch.
Oh.
Gotta.
And-
Actually, it all makes sense now.
Okay. Did we have anything else to say about the final arc, the last arc that we had before we move on to the third arc?
Oh wait, hold on. There's one thing I like to mention. Apparently the bad guys been saying robots into the past, and they never mentioned this again.
Well, it's because we ended up going into, I guess, fighting on the moon. I guess I don't know. I do remember that being a thing we talked about last week about the droids being everywhere. The droids didn't matter once we actually got to the big final fights because then they're just like, okay, only the sailor soldiers are fighting Black Lady and an entire planet now. Because this is all we fought. We didn't really fight anything else. It was just, okay, we got to fight Black Lady, stop Prince Demand from nuking everything, and now we have to defeat a planet somehow, which we could just awaken Chibiusa and then say a thing, and then it's gone.
Oh yeah, I remember my question now.
what's your question?
Future planet, was that the moon or the Earth?
I think it's the Earth.
Probably.
It's like they
Here.
called it Neo Crystal Tokyo, but like
Yeah,
it's
that
run
was
by
the
moon
Earth.
people.
Okay, I was confused by that too.
It's Moon 2,
In the
okay?
future, they're just going to accept Usagi as their totalitarian leader, okay?
Colonizers,
Don't worry
I
about it.
understand. Are we saying the Black Moon people were right to defeat the Moon people? There was
Yes.
another thing we forgot to mention last week. I think I meant to mention it and I forgot to. The Black Moon people specifically, what the way they were citing why they wanted to defeat the Moon people was they get to live forever. That is unnatural. We must destroy them, I guess. I remember this being like a couple lines that they were saying. They were like, it is unnatural how they get to live forever in eternal youth, so we must destroy them. But this is never brought up again for anything because mostly they're just being brainwashed by Wise Man, so they don't really, I mean, they can think these things, but really it's just Wise Man being like, I just want to kill everything because they fucked with me, so I just want to kill everything. Fuck them.
Based.
But I was like thinking to myself, like, that could be an interesting take to have about the Moon people if you were gonna try to have a more interesting villain, I guess, for these kind of things. I like the villains that we've had so far are like evil for the sake of I want all the power, and then sometimes we get a little bit of
power.
And then sometimes we get a little bit of I wanted power and also I had a crush on Tuxedo Mask, I guess.
Yeah.
You're one of the main characters. Like, this keeps happening.
Because who
I-
doesn't? I mean,
I do love that Tuxedo Mask is the damsel in distress.
Very interesting.
He is both the damsel in distress and the cheerleader.
I thought of that too when he's like taking Chibiusa and the kids to the amusement park, and he's like, say Usagi's just like, I really want to go too. I want to hang out with you. I want to go on a date with you. And he's like, yeah, but don't you have to investigate the thing? Don't worry, I'll take care of the kids. You got my communicator. You're right next door. If anything happens,
There's a pizza in the freezer. You know.
Listen, this is my weekend.
All right.
I gotta spend time with the kids this time.
Yes. So the Black Moon arc, done, wrapped up, and we did do a little bit towards the end where it was like a very sad moment where like Chibiusa has got to go home. Obviously knew that wasn't gonna last. She immediately comes back, comedically falling down from the sky again, and then. I thought it was going to be another one of those she fell on the neck. I don't remember if she fell on the neck again, but she fell from the sky with the note saying, all right, I'm staying here now. And then we moved on to the next arc. I don't know what the arc is officially called, but it seems to focus on Infinity Academy and the Infinity District. So I'm assuming it's like the
It's called
Infinity
the
arc.
lesbian arc.
That's
Okay.
true. It is the lesbian arc. It's true. Lesbians
got
are in fact
true.
real now. The cousins are here.
They are. How dare you?
It's also called Sailor Moon S.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're immediately before anything begins, we're introduced to vaguely to the new villain, who's been referred to as Pharaoh 90. I'm immediately thinking, is this a computer program? What is this?
The 90 is interesting.
Because we have Pharaoh 90 and we have the Witches 5. And the Witches 5 each have levels, and they believe that defeating other people will increase their levels. So I'm like, is this like a computer
Welcome to
video
Dragon
game
Ball
thing?
Z.
And one of the girls in the Witches 5 attempts to defeat one of the characters through nanomachines sent through the computers, I guess. There's a lot going on with some of these characters. So, okay.
It is nice to see the Sailor Guardians finally not lose fights.
Yes. Yes. So, we have the new people introduced, new evil concepts. We have the next MacGuffin is called, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, the Tayron Crystal, I guess, and 3 talismans. We have evil villainous Cowlinite, who is definitely not the mom character we see later who's dating the research guy. Definitely not that person. And
yeah, they're completely unrelated.
Yeah, what was her name? Like Cowrie or something like that? Cowlinite, yeah, it was totally different. Totally different.
Yeah, why would you think those two have anything to do with each other?
I don't know. That'd be insane. That'd be insane. All the witches run this place called Infinity Academy, it seems.
Infinity Nikki.
And that's true. Infinity Nikki invented the concept of infinity. We know this. This is true.
It did. Yeah,
It's
That's
true.
true.
It's true.
Canonically.
So Infinity Academy, which is, of course, part of the Infinity District, as we all know.
Of course.
New location introduced to the world nearby us. I do enjoy that aspect of it. The new lore with Infinity Academy is it is a massive skyscraper school in which you can go through all of the iterations of schooling from like kindergarten up to like graduate school. I thought it was also going to be like a Danganronpa situation. Once you sign up for the school, you live there for the rest of your life. You don't ever leave this fucking school. They've got like apartments in the higher floors and everything, probably. But they're just like, we got a fuck ton of schools. Okay. Oh, you want to go to the ninth grade? Ninth grade's on like the 13th floor. You just go take the elevator over there. It'll take you there. And it sounded like you need to have like super high grades to get into it or be rich potentially. We were introduced to 2 characters who go to this school. Haruka Tenno and Michiru Kaio. I don't know if I pronounced them right. Who are our new characters. and are later revealed to be the new sailor soldiers, Uranus and Neptune, who are, of course, the lesbians that we've all been waiting for. They're here. They're finally here. I will say this.
I thought they were cousins.
That's true. They're cousins. I will say this. I was confused at first. When you read the volume, when you start this volume, and it shows the chapter names, and it says the chapter names, and one of them is, oh god, I opened up the wrong chapter. Fuck. Hold up. Give me a second. I had it. Shut up. Okay. It says like Sailor Uranus, Tenno Haruka, and I like went to continue on, and I was like, oh, here's Haruka. It's this guy at the school. Wait a minute. Wait, what's going on? Wait, hold up. I thought Haruka was supposed to be Sailor Uranus. Wait a minute. Wait, what's happening here? Wait a minute. I also didn't read the second bit that said Sailor Neptune, Michiru. So I was like, oh, this guy is going out with this girl here, Michiru. What's going on here? Is she gonna turn out to be Sailor Uranus? I was confused for a bit because I read that bit towards the beginning. I didn't realize the table of contents would spoil me, but apparently they did. So, what do I know?
That's too, it's good.
Apparently, it also would have made it easier to follow.
True, because it just confused. I was like, wait, what's going on here? What is? And then it appears. Okay, let me see if I understand this. Haruka presents as male during daily life. I don't know if this is just to investigate the school or if this is normally how they do it. And then when they're in soldier mode, they present as female.
I was just running with non-binary the whole time.
Yeah, I was assuming that was also happening, but I wasn't sure what exactly was happening specifically. So I didn't know if we were doing this for investigation purposes or what. So yeah.
In terms of the show, I think it's generally just accepted that she's a butch lesbian.
Okay.
But I mean, there are plenty of people who have had non-binary interpretations of definitely Haruka.
Yeah, I had thought that specifically from the line she said about man or woman, what does that matter, or whatever.
Yeah.
I was thinking that when I saw that line, but yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that, I mean, that's a very common thing for like butch lesbians especially to like say and believe about themselves as well, because obvious reasons there's a decent amount of overlap between the two identities. So
sure.
Neither one is wrong. So just kind of how you take it.
I
Right.
mean, we've all read Umineko.
No, let's throw some gas on the fire. Which one's wrong?
What's Umineko?
Umineko. Beatrice is back.
Let's go again.
All right, so
can you explain it in like 2 minutes? No.
Say it in red.
2 hours? 2 hours? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, so we have the new characters introduced who are at the school. They're introduced to us as Haruka is a race car driver. Both these characters are very popular. Haruka is a race car driver and rich. Yes, I think was that Michiru that started off coming out of a pool on the phone about calling a boat or whatever. What the fuck was that about? let me call my boat real quick.
She's rich.
I was like,
it wasn't a boat. It was a helicopter thing.
Initially, she was introduced like with her name as like the SS Kaio, because the joke was she spends all of her time underwater. Then she called a helicopter.
Which they keep calling a plane for some reason.
I was trying to. Did I notice them calling it a plane? I don't remember if I noticed it. I remember being just shocked. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are they flying a plane around? I was like, oh, rich people. They could just do this.
Listen, it's very important that you realize that she's not only gay, but she's incredibly rich.
Is this what happens? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Just a point in common for all of Usagi's friends. It's fine.
You know.
Except Usagi.
So I love that too. They introduce that they have a helicopter when they're at a point where they're like, we don't know if they're friends or enemies. They've blatantly told us we are not your allies, or they've said we didn't remember telling you we're your allies. Stay the fuck out of our way. And then Chibi Usa just like, man, it's getting kind of dark. Maybe I should, call Usagi and get someone to walk me home. And then the helicopter comes up. Oh, little lady, we're friends of your mom. Would you like a ride? Oh.
This entire volume was little Usagi's complete lack of survival instinct.
That too.
You're not going to get kidnapped whatsoever.
Little girl, do you want to come into our helicopter? Sure. Little girl, do you want to come into my house? Sure. I'm going to wander out the amusement park.
Michiru one of them specifically tells Chibiusa, don't tell Usagi that we did this.
While we're in a
tell
giant
her
helicopter.
that we dropped you off here. Then, not only does Haruka wave goodbye to Usagi from the helicopter, the next chapter, they both mention it to Usagi. It's like,
Look, Haruka has
like
such a thing for Usagi. She cannot help herself.
I took that more as saying don't talk about the talisman talk.
Well, so here's my thing with that scene too, okay? She goes into the helicopter after just hanging out with Hotaru and dealing with that secret situation that's going on with that, about the amulet or whatever. We'll talk about that in a bit. And they're in the helicopter and they're like, so you were hanging out with that person. What'd you guys talk about? And she's like, it's top secret. We were talking about amulets. It's like, wait, Chibiusa, what are you doing? Oh, amulets, you don't say. And then they're just sharing the information fully. He's like, what are you doing, Chibiusa? The tiny child. You're 900 years old. You can't be doing this.
No wonder her mother never talked to her.
True.
Fucking got her ass.
Oh, okay. So, okay. All right. So the big bad, we have to investigate Infinity Academy. Michiru's thing. Because we discussed Haruka is famous for being a race car driver. Michiru is a famous violinist.
yes.
And both characters have secret meetings with Usagi and Tuxedo Mask that make the other person think that the other is cheating on them or makes them jealous of each other. We especially get to see Usagi's thoughts on the matter, which is obviously just, why is Tuxedo Mask talking with another girl? Okay, all right. I understand. Okay, listen. But then, literally, Usagi is meeting up with Haruka, hanging out with him, and blushing over him, and then when they meet Haruka as one of the sailor soldiers one night, Haruka kisses Usagi, and then she can't stop thinking about that, doesn't mention it to Tuxedo Mask or whatever, and she's still worried about Tuxedo Mask cheating on her when that all happened. There's a lot going on with this, but they eventually have a little moment where they do connect again through Chibiusa meddling with her homework assignment or whatever. I think that time with that, I was
Holy Grail homework assignment specifically.
We gotta make the Holy Grail specifically, the one that I saw in my mom's thing in the future. I only saw it once.
Yeah, because she just has the Holy Grail. Future Usagi.
I thought what that was gonna be one of those things where that Holy Grail is actually the one that Chibiusa makes here and then goes into the future. But then I remembered,
she just keeps it painting on the fridge.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be. And then I remembered we haven't given a fuck about the time travel implications here at all, so it's probably not what that is. I don't know.
That would have been cute.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
Because I thought it was going to be that and maybe some other things that are in her room that Chibiusa was this is all really nice. Or I thought they were all going to be treasures that she made or whatever. But yeah.
That'd be if her mom cared.
Yeah, obviously she doesn't. Obviously we know that, yeah. Okay, so the new characters are introduced. They're just kind of mysteriously talking with them. I couldn't tell at first that they were just going to be the new big bads at first, and then it's just I think Usagi's hanging out with Haruka first, playing a racing game against him, I didn't realize at first that he was physically playing the game with her. I thought it was just a new racing game that he was just in the video game of. So when I was reading it, I was like, why is the video game talking to her? And mentioning her hair buns, talking about like a dumpling head or whatever. Is that what he called her or whatever? I was like,
Yeah.
Dumpling head, yeah.
but then I realized, oh, it's a 2-player game and he's literally sitting next to her. They're just actually hanging out there. Because all the girls there were just like, oh my god, he's so handsome. So I thought they were commenting on the screen of the game. But no, he was just right next to them. I was like, oh, all right. She does the racing game. They meet up with him a couple more times, I guess. And then they have the
It's
confrontation.
also really funny, I will say, that Haruka seems to be like literally breaking the fucking game.
Yes. Yep. Like, how are you going that fast? What the fuck is going on? And they're just like, listen, this game is easy. This game is easy. The faster you go, okay, the easier it is to finish the laps. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Just go faster. Just go faster and don't crash. It's not hard. And then, okay, those characters being introduced. Meanwhile, the news is like, yeah, so several people have becoming like reverting to primal times. They're becoming primitive monsters at random. So be careful out there, gang. And they're like, oh, what's that about? And they investigate Infinity Academy related to that eventually, because they encounter something about it. They encounter one of those monsters attacking or being possessed by Hotaru. What's her name? Hotaru Tomoe, who we get to a nice little shot of Chibi Moon is her name now. Chibi Moon and Sailor Moon working together to defeat the evil thing that was trying to take over somebody, and then they go to help up Tomoe Hotaru. And I guess Tomoe is just like, oh, let me heal your wound real quick. I've had this ability for all these years. I don't know what that's about. And we're just like, oh, well, that's neat. Anyways,
Anyway.
like, what do you mean?
Tuxedo Mask can do that too. It's weird.
Yeah, what the fuck? But okay, all right, maybe
Look, if you can't do that, skill issue.
Maybe Chibi Usa's not used to regular people doing that. Maybe she's just not used to that. I understand. Okay, but this character also appears to be the child of the researcher dude who owns the Infinity District, who is wearing this eyepiece the whole time.
And you were thinking about Maximilian Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh!
I was the whole time, because I'm like, we've introduced the new villain's name is Pharaoh 900, and this dude's got like an Egyptian eyepiece going on. What is this?
Wait, mine said Pharaoh 90.
I'm sorry, did I say something else? I meant Pharaoh 90.
Also, what the hell's that like automatic generated username?
That's so again, I had thought that meant that it's going to be some weird computer program thing. Not sure at this point.
It's just a big Counter-Strike fan.
Yeah, true. Might be. So we have the dad who owns the district, researcher person who I don't know. I had suspected, and I don't know if this is true or not. At first, I had suspected that Tomoe was some kind of weird creation or a child experiment of this doctor, because they're like, oh, she's got weird coughing fits. Here, wear this amulet. It will make you feel better. Oh, here's a million fucking lights we have in your room. But she likes dark places. She prefers dark places. I'm like, what is going on with her? She's has these weird coughing fits, needs an amulet to help her not have these coughing fits. Weird things going, and she can heal.
The amulet.
The amulet.
The amulet. That's definitely not a talisman.
Definitely not. Don't worry about that. We have the two other. Everybody has been having weird dreams every now and then of a voice saying, "You must gather the talismans. You must gather the talismans, or everything is gonna fucking die." And they're just like, "All right, are they warning us, or are they trying to trick us into getting these things, or what is what is going on. We gotta figure out what these talismans even mean, where they are, what they do. Uranus and Neptune just have 2 of them already, and we just gotta find the 3rd one. Does that mean they're the bad guys? I don't, that's a question that they keep asking themselves. They keep asking themselves this question. Every time we meet a new sailor, they immediately try to kick our ass. Pluto did this when we first met her, and now these two, are just like, okay, we're not gonna, stay the fuck out of our way. Like, it's very hostile, but it's explained to us from the cats, because of course the cats know. They're just like, well, we've known about the outer planets of the sailor soldiers. They're technically not supposed to be interacting with your team, I guess. They're there. We know that they exist, but I don't know why they're here. Is it more time travel shenanigans? I don't fucking know. But apparently Pluto's back. What's the deal with that?
Are just like that.
That's true. That's true.
I did like the explanation though that like just because we follow a group of sailors doesn't mean that they're the only sailors and that there are other sailors out there that just normally don't interact with each other.
Yep.
I don't know why, but I liked that explanation, or at least that kind of idea that there are other sailors out there who specifically don't always interact with each other, and that's why you don't know about them. Like, they're just off doing other things that are important.
Right.
Yeah, Earth's a big place.
Yep.
Yeah, when you got Future and the Moon, and like, what other planets are there?
So, I was trying to think too, because when they introduced Sailor Uranus and Neptune, they're like, planet of water, planet of wind. I was like, I thought we already had those. Did we already have those? But I guess there are 2 other planets of water and wind, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, there's always so many attributes to work with. Okay, we got some duplicates over here and there.
I mean, that's fair.
Well, there could be a planet of tacos. You don't know.
There could be. Could be.
I just looked it up in a Japanese dictionary, and I guess Uranus is actually Tenose. So I'm gonna guess that Neptune is gonna be Kaiose.
You know what? That makes sense. With their names being Tenno, Kaio. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I'm actually remembering the Wanikanis have recently been showing me some of the planets, and it's been like Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. How you're supposed to say these things? Like, okay, you're right. Holy fuck. Okay, so Infinity Academy, run by the witches, I guess. One of them was like, okay, one of them was like, I teach philosophy and I don't know, English. I don't remember what else she said, but she's like, I'm the first one. I'm level 78, and I will,
whatever that's supposed to mean.
I will find you a proper host for the daemons. The daemons being the monsters, or no, it was like, we need a host for something. I didn't realize if the host was for the daemons. It seemed like the daemons were the backup in case the hosts don't work out, but it's a host for something. We need a host. We need to find these vessels that we can raise to have devote their bodies and souls to be a perfect vessel for something for us to use. And if shit doesn't work out, we can just bring in some daemons, which are the primeval whatever things.
I thought we were going
de-evolution
to
things.
but no, I guess not.
No, it's not, and I think they did it at one point to like an animal, I think, too. Was it like a dog or a cat or something? I thought they did it to an animal too, where they just made it a creature.
I don't remember that part.
I was trying to remember. I thought they did, but maybe I'm misremembering.
I think it was a cat near the
Okay.
time where they met, like Hotaru or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it wasn't like a. Yes, I think so. Because it wasn't like Hotaru was possessed. Hotaru was being attacked by somebody who was possessed, I think. Or something that was possessed, which I think was the cat. And, okay. So, they are investigating Infinity Academy and having to deal with these things every now and then. The first one, I don't remember all their names, but the first one was like start with an E, and I think we saw her briefly as like a teacher talking with Hotaru. Hotaru was on the mountain. Rei was also on this mountain, Mount M, I guess. And they're just like, Rei is gone to meditate on the mountain because they've also heard that there's a training camp on the mountain. And they go to check out the mountain. And the mountain at night has like the students go to a big fire and give up their souls to it. And then they go to defeat the big bad there that's doing that. Prior to that, they meet Hotaru in like a judo place, and he's like, all right, anybody want to fight me? And he like fights with Makoto, like destroys her, and they're like, why the fuck did you do that? You should be nicer to a lady. He's like, I don't hold back no matter who it is. And then the teacher's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And then they just all scatter. I was like, what was the point of this? Just to show that they are stronger than Makoto? I was like, are we finally going to get something for Makoto? Makoto didn't really get anything out of this other than her ass kicked. I was like, what happened here?
I will always appreciate any character demonstrating talk shit, get hit.
I was thinking of what's his name from Konosuba? Kazuma. Yeah. Yeah. So that scene happened. I thought I was hopeful. I was like, are we finally going to get some Rei development? Rei is like out here in the mountains training, focusing herself, and she's near where they're doing the school thing. So she's going to get some time herself to deal with things. And then literally everybody else showed up before anything happened. Because they're like, oh, we should just go there to investigate the thing. Let's interrupt her training. And I was like, oh, all right, well.
Yeah, they also had to tell her happy birthday.
That's true. That's her happy birthday, Rei, whose birthday I think is the closest we have technically right now in real life. What'd they say her birthday was, like April 17th or something like that?
Yep.
So her birthday is coming up. Make sure you get her a gift. And
Oh
what
my
else?
god! Wait, it's actually during a week of book club.
Exactly. So there you go. You got to have your gifts ready for Rei. It's going to be her birthday. I had seen art of Uranus when we first started, I think, because I think it was also her birthday. I think it was. It was either her or Neptune.
No, hold on. It just occurred to me. It's the week after we finish.
Oh, okay. Well, that happens. That
is very funny.
Anyways, okay, so the next one was somehow we went from the level 79 villainess to the level 40 villainess.
Yeah.
Because they showed us a
Who's
page
an idol.
Yes. They showed us a page of all the different of the 5 witches and all their levels. It's like level 40, level 78. I took a photo of it here. Where is it? Level 40, level 78, level 202, level 404, and level 999. Why did we go from 78 to 40?
Insane.
Why did we go from 78 to 40? What does
Clearly,
all this mean?
she doesn't know much about idols because she should be the level 999 one.
True.
Is this true?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
They go to a concert. Well, they're going to like an entertainment dome thing that was just constructed. And there are several performances happening there. One of which is Michiru, which many of them are going there to investigate. But Sailor Venus specifically wants to go check out her favorite idol who's performing at the dome. Mimi Hanyu, I think is her idol name. Immediately, I was like, okay, this is going to be one of the witches.
God damn it.
This is one of the witches. We can't have another popular new character be introduced. Oh, I'm a big fan. I can't wait to go see them at this public events where there's going to be a lot of people for them to absorb. I mean, what? What? And then we go, and naturally, she's trying to absorb them all. I did enjoy that scene, because Sailor Venus is going to that by herself, because everybody else is going to check out Michiru's performance. But I did appreciate how Venus sneaks into it by also using the makeup change disguise thing ability. I was like, oh, all right, that's pretty cool. We haven't done this in a while, other than I guess when Usagi, earlier or later, I forget where it was at this point, because they went into the school to investigate directly at some point, and they got discovered and kicked out pretty quickly. And then scared away too by the two characters before we found out they were sailor soldiers, and they said some cryptic shit and got them out of there. They had gotten in before, and what was I trying to say with this? God, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm losing my mind here. Okay, listen.
And Usagi transformed into a student.
Yes, that was it. That was my point. Thank you. She transformed into a Infinity Academy student and then went in. And then Sailor Venus later on transformed specifically into a male student to watch the concert. And then everything was going to fuck and shit. And then they're like, oh no, I gotta call for backup. And then they go to defeat them, or they go to fight them. What was the one after that? The one after that was the one that targeted Mercury, who was like, Mercury, you got all the top scores again, all the huge top scores. Oh, but you were second in the national mock test. There's one person who's higher up than you. We got another challenger here. Last time they went on TV and publicly challenged her to a chess match. This time she was like, huh, that's interesting. Maybe I should go to this, what was it? Cram school? This Infinity Academy cram school thing. Because she wanted to investigate the Infinity Academy directly. And the teacher was supposed to be, was she supposed to be the science teacher? This is what I was confused about. She was listed as having a higher score, but I thought she was also supposed to be a teacher. I was confused. Yep. Is this allowed?
Both of those things are true statements.
You're allowed to do that? Okay. All right.
So engineers do.
All right. So she goes to investigate. They knew pretty much immediately that this was her that was trying to sneak in and around the school. And then they tried to capture her with the nanomachines in the computer. We've introduced nanomachines, son. The DNA of the soul. That's memes. That's memes. That's memes. I understand. Nanomachines are everything else. We understand.
Check the internet lately.
But they're not all getting captured one by one, at least, like last time. I thought we were about to have a repeat of that. So it was nice to not have that. But yeah, we're defeating them, they're going away, and then we're like, what do we do next? What are next? And there was another detail that I didn't. Oh yeah, the talisman stuff. Okay, so Michiru's hand mirror is just a talisman. I guess she's got a hand mirror. She's like, it can show me someone's past lives. She's mentioned it a couple times to be like, hey, tuxedo mask, your eyes are so beautiful. You could have been a prince in your past life. Flirt. Anyways, my hand mirror is a talisman. I think she literally says that to Chibiusa. Then in a fight later, I believe Neptune pulls out a sword that is also a talisman. Am I remembering this right? It was like a space sword.
Demon sword.
It was a demon sword. Okay. Oh, also, when Mercury was walking around the school, there was like a diorama or whatever, some kind of model of a galaxy. And she's like, oh, this is a weird display of a galaxy with a weird name that I've never heard before, like the Tai something galaxy. And I'm like, oh, is this the
Tau Nebula?
The Tau Nebula? And I'm like, oh, so is Is this just literally like a mini version of wherever the big bads are from now or something? What is this? What's going on with all that? Okay, so how are we feeling about, first of all, how are we feeling about the new big bads, the Infinity Academy? How are we feeling about that general stuff? Obviously, we're going to get into how we feel about Sailor Uranus and Neptune, but let's talk about the other.
That's how.
Of course. But how do we feel about the other new world lore stuff that's been introduced to us and the big bads that are now here? What are our thoughts? Anybody have any thoughts?
Welcome to the new villain, same as the old villain.
Yeah,
It's the same formula the third time in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have many thoughts on them because they're not really the villains that we've seen aren't really characters. They're just plot devices. So I'm just pretty neutral on them. You know,
Yeah.
they're here to serve a purpose rather than to really care about them.
I did
The
appreciate.
designs are nice.
Yes, I did appreciate at least that this time it's not just a bunch of dudes with like female shadow minions that they send out. I did appreciate that it was just actually evil women this time. I appreciate that because I always thought that was weird that they were doing that before with like because they did twice in a row where it was just 4 guys with 4 demon women that served under them, and we did this for 2 arcs in a row. So it was like, are we going to do anything different? Like at least a different number? Can we do that? And so now we get the 5 witches. I'm sorry, the witches 5. They specifically write it like that because the numbers probably important because like I said, probably a computer program. That's my theory. All right. Pharaoh 90 is some weird, probably future computer program meme. I don't know. We probably find some way to include time travel into this too. I don't know. So yeah. Infinity Academy, as a concept.
I had one thing I want to mention.
Oh, okay, what's your thing you want to mention?
Okay, so they're called the Witches 5, but my thing is, it's not the 5 witches. It's the Witches 5, which implies it's the Witches 4, a 3, maybe a 6. Who knows?
What?
It's just referring to the group, I guess. Like what's that one series that I started reading now? Trinity 7, which is about like the top 7 witches at that school or whatever. Here it's the Witches 5 because these are, I guess. Okay, here's my confusion though. The Witches 5 would imply that these are the top 5 witches, or a group of 5 witches.
More witches.
But the levels are what's confusing me too. We have a big difference in these levels. I don't understand what that's about. Okay, well, we'll find out about it later, I'm assuming, but still.
All the other witches are like 39 or lower, okay?
I don't know. Well, but I feel like if you were going to have the strongest of the group, you know, they'd probably all be like high level, not just like, yeah, here's a level 40. Yeah, here's a level 78.
Pretty good.
Yeah, here's a level 999. Like maybe you have like
the
one
Witches
super
5,
high.
but there's like 3 what are they called? Where you work for somebody who don't get paid. Interns.
Oh, interns. Okay, yeah, the intern witches. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's yeah.
We're never actually going to find Witch 404.
Yes. Yeah. I did think that was also weird. It on the page it says 404, but like the first 4 looks like it's half cut off. I don't know what the typesetters were doing. But I thought it said 04 at first. And I was like, what? Something. That doesn't make any sense. Level 04, and it says 404, but the first 4 has like half of it cut off. I'm like, what the fuck? By the way, man, Ari pointed it out too in the spoiler chat. Dude, the typesetting this week. What is happening? What is happening? We had... I'm going to show this on the stream, okay? I'm going to show the frame that Ari posted, okay?
I don't know what you're talking about. That's perfect.
Sure. Usagi's transformation to defeat the big bad at the end of the last arc. In the name of the moon, I am Sailor Moon. I will punish you. Bro, we have 3 fucking bubbles. You can't split it into 3 things? And then the makeup at the bottom, the right looks fucking pathetic. What is this? What is this? What are you doing? This is supposed to be the action shot. This is the big moment. You can't do it for one page? Why are you doing this? Why?
I gotta share mine with the amazing typesetting. So mine was it's "You're famous," but like the F is like at the literal edge of the bubble. So my brain autocorrected to says "You're among us," and I don't know how to feel about that.
Whoa.
Oh, I saw one where the word was like flickering, but the kerning was real bad, so it looked like fuckering. And
I believe it. Yeah, that plus there was just several words that were just I noticed were just not there when there was supposed to be a word there, or just a word spelled wrong several times. There's a lot going on here. It's it happens, I guess. Different times with this stuff. And then I went to check the Eternal edition, for sanity's sake of checking some of these things. I'm like, man, I wish I was reading this version for this. I really wish I do. It's just so much nicer to read. Can you believe it? And there's like translator notes at the end of it too. Bonus meme content. Holy shit! Why didn't we do that?
Well, obviously.
Sounds like a book club host needs to do more homework next time.
Yeah, true. I think the main reason why I considered not doing it was I thought that it was going to make them all omnibuses. So I didn't know if this was going to take us longer to read through if we did it like that. It doesn't even really seem like it did that, so I wasn't sure. It seemed like the Eternal Edition split the arcs better. It seemed like it split them better than how we're reading them with the two. Because we would have been done with the last arc last week as a discussion, then starting the new arc this week as a discussion if we did it like that. So we probably should have done that, but that was my bad. So what were you going to say, Ari?
On one hand, going into Sailor Moon, I thought it would be a manga that has not really a bunch of filler, but more of just like a lot of downtime in between stuff. But instead, it's like go 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 go. Go, go, go. No. Like, oh, we're going to the amusement park? We're going to be there for like 2 pages. That's it. Like, I fully assumed that this would be the type of manga that, like, I don't know, maybe have a chapter every volume where the characters kind of just be
hang out
14-year-olds,
Nope, can't have
but then on the other hand, I finished this week's reading last night, and I was like, what do you mean we're only halfway done? Like, what is there left? Like, because especially because the first arc was supposed to be kind of the ending, and now we're getting a new arc basically every 2.5 volumes to 2 volumes. It's like, how much more of this like breakneck speed are we gonna do? Like,
approximately 6 more volumes.
Yeah, which I'm just surprised by. Like, are we really gonna get like 3 more arcs after this? Like, what? Can't we just go back to the amusement park?
No. No, Chibi Usa dropped her hat. Chibi Usa dropped her hat and apparently went all the way across fucking town behind the Infinity Academy building, okay? She knows exactly where it went. She has to go get it. I was like, Chibi, what are you doing? What do you mean? You're just gonna go yourself? What are you doing? Yeah.
Oops, I dropped my hat and it's at the bottom of this giant vat of pudding.
I'm the action addict, okay? But I want some slice of life in this. I just want to see the characters. I want a little less of the villain of the week, okay?
Listen, Usagi got to play the racing game with the Haruka, okay? What more do you want? What more do you want? They played a racing game, probably trained Usagi to actually race with how these games in this arcade seem to work. It will probably come up again later.
Video games work.
Yeah, that's true. I do find it to be very
America's
funny.
Army out now.
I do find it very funny. We've introduced Haruka as a racer, and then we only see them in a helicopter afterwards. I don't think we've introduced a car ever being driven in this series outside of that panel.
Well, yeah,
ever.
you don't drive off the track.
Well, I just mean we haven't driven anywhere in general in this series. We just kind of walk everywhere or seem to teleport to moons. Obviously, you can't take a car to the moon, sure, but I'm just saying.
That'd be
Am
pretty cool for a moon car.
am I implying Naoko Takeuchi could not draw cars? Maybe. Would I ever say that? No, but I'm just saying it seems like we don't have cars involved at all. Even though we have a racer in here, we've drawn a helicopter instead somehow. Okay, it's fine. But yeah, I know it might sound like at times that I do not enjoy this series. I do enjoy this series. I'm just making these observations because I think that they're very funny and or weird choices that like kind of stick out to me. But I still do enjoy the series. I'm like art-wise, especially like I really enjoy how we depict a lot of these scenes with these characters, because Naoko Takeuchi draws very beautiful expressions, and they do very cutesy looking like slice of life moments, but they just don't last that long. Like, we're playing the arcade game thing, okay, but now I don't know if the guy I was just racing is my enemy or not. Tuxedo Mask is talking with a woman on the streets. What was I saying again?
Oh, but he's so hot.
Oh, yeah, true. They all have to comment on how hot the new guy is, which, of course, turns out to be this is Haruka.
This is the next sailor.
The next sailor, lesbian. We got lesbians, go lesbians, and lesbian cousins driving helicopters around, searching for the talismans. You know, the talismans. That's just what you do. That's just what they do. I did really like.
Yeah, that's just what lesbians are like.
I had the opportunity to take the screenshot of the colored pages, which I posted a ton of in the spoiler zone. Which really, I kind of regret not doing it for the previous weeks too, because they look very, very nice. Let me see if I could show some of these for the stream here. We had this big shot of the squad in the last arc. Right here. Oh God, it's too big. Control T, Control F. It's Control F. That's what it is. Okay. Squad up, squad up. Oh, very, very nice. Very, very nice shot. It is a big reminder to me about, I'm looking at Sailor Moon and Sailor Venus next to each other, and I'm just like, wow. Their main difference really is the pigtails and Venus's outfit being yellow, I guess. Because everybody else is like a different hair color, and theirs is exactly the same and very long. Like, huh.
Literally, like I when I was a child, I always thought it was the same character because same hair color, same length. But in context though, it does make more sense now hearing that Venus was supposed to be the main character and had to change things. So it does make sense if she had to make a secondary actual main character that you would make her very similar.
Right. I think I had always thought that the twist was going to be that Venus was going to turn out to be like Sailor Moon's sister or something like that, and that's why they look so similar. That was not the case.
No, they're cousins, Chef. What are you talking about?
True. This next one, cover art of Black Lady. Oh. Very nice design. Did not get to last too long. Fucked up and evil arc. My mom does not love me, so I must become fucked up and evil and steal her man, even if it's my dad. This has to happen for reasons. We have. Oh, this one. Okay, so all these screenshots I took from the Eternal Edition because it was easier for me to take these screenshots from it. And this next one is, they would, I guess, occasionally do character roundups of the current characters that are there, and it's very cute looking. Look at them. Oh, look at them. Look at all of them. You get all the girls in their regular human forms. Hold on, let me ban someone real quick. There you go. And then we get
Goodbye.
the sailor versions of them down below. You've got Pluto in there. We get the current cast of the big bads or whatever. I found this of the screenshot of the current arc. There's probably a similar one of the last arc too, which probably looks very nice. Yeah, it's very nice looking at these things. There's another reason why I'm just like, I need to go back and reread the whole thing again through the Eternal Edition, because it's very, very nice. What's this next one that we have here? Oh, here's one of all the Usagis together. Here we go. Here we go. So we got the queen, we have Usagi, and then we have Chibi Usa all together. And even though they're pretty much all supposed to be very similar or the same character, vastly different colors going on, styles going on, it's very nice. I like it. I like how we differentiate them. And more colored pages of the squad here. This one is... Okay, there we go. This one. There's more traditional. Here's everybody. We're starting the next arc, the Infinity arc now. Pluto is drawn here still, even though she fucking died. I thought that was unusual at first, but with the ending bit, I'm like, huh, I guess that's not unusual.
And then you remembered she's not allowed to kill off characters.
True. True. And then we get
time is a flat circle or something.
True. Then we get a shot of our new characters. Their human forms, at least. Ooh, F. There we go. This one here. Ah. Look at them. Infinity 3 Duet New Soldiers. That's them. That's the two. And then I think there's a screenshot later of their actual... Yes. Of their sailor forms.
I get that's all the same pattern, but her little bow looks so much like a watermelon compared to everything else.
Their Infinity uniforms? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is what they look like in their outfits. I really like their style that they have. I like it. I like it a lot. It's very nice. It's very neat. Are they the enemy? Is everyone our enemy? Probably.
Are any of your manga?
Especially Chibiusa.
This is true. This is true.
Chibiusa is her own enemy.
That too.
And then this last one that we have here is this view of all the girls in this nice little style. This is supposed to be also the chapter where they introduced Uranus and Neptune. Now we're going to go into detail about them more. Yeah, it's very nice. So I just wanted to show this off because there are colored pages and they look very nice. And I have not talked about them in the previous weeks, I don't think. So I want to show them off. Okay. Other
I will also
details.
say, as long as we're doing character talk real quick,
Yep.
I did find it really funny that they brought back Umino, who is the nerdy
Yes.
boy in Usagi's class.
Yes.
And they brought him back just to do a very brief exposition dump about Infinity Academy. But they literally had a thing in the same panel as him, oh, this is Umino, by the way. In case you forgot, this inconsequential character.
Hey, our exposition dump is back.
I like to
Chibi
Usa and her friends. I was like, her friends kind of looked like Umino and Naru. What is going on with that? Huh? I thought that was because we had another character there that was supposed to be her age, but had the swirly glasses going on. So I was like, oh, huh. This is just how we draw.
It's a
all
very
nerdy
small
boys.
town.
Oh, okay. True.
It's a
But
very
under
small town,
Usagi's
Tokyo.
reign, it'll
That's
be
why
a
you-
lot
It's actually why you never see cars. That's just they can walk everywhere. It's great.
Oh, yeah. It's very walkable. Tokyo, I hear. It's very walkable.
Yeah.
Turned Tokyo into the British.
So what else do we have here? I think the only other main detail we have is that Pluto's alive, I guess. Reincarnated, perhaps. Time travel memes, also perhaps. Because Pluto died. The future. Well, also, I didn't understand how that worked with Pluto. Pluto's supposed to be the guardian of time. Does that mean she's from the future? Does that mean time is inconsequential to her? I didn't understand the rules with her fully with that, but
Well, clearly, so Chibiusa came from the future, and
Yep.
she was best friends with the Pluto of that time.
right.
So clearly, the person who looks like Pluto in the past is her mom.
Might be, could be. Did Pluto's mom hate her? Maybe. This is why they were able to connect so much, So we're just towards the end. So not only are we basically shown Pluto back in some way, shape, or form, they are going to college with Reika, who I believe was the sister of the guy who ran the arcade place.
Yep.
And someone else who I think we met before, some like male character we met before. Was he supposed to
I don't
also
know,
be the
he's
guy
just
who ran
some
the
guy.
place? Okay, I didn't know if he was just like a character we met before in some side thing in the first arc. But I recognize the girl. So she's meeting up with them, and she says, I'm a university student majoring in theoretical physics. And that's how we end the week with, oh my god, Pluto's back, holy shit. Notably, no afterwards this week. We don't get any afterwards. I was disappointed. I miss the afterwards from the author. I miss them. I want the backstory. I want the lore. I want the deets. I want to hear all about our struggles with editing our manga. Yeah. So anyways, how did we feel about Neptune, Uranus? Let's get all our thoughts out here. Because I don't know if anybody had anything else that they wanted to say about these two new characters and the thoughts they have. Go wild, okay? Lesbian time. It's lesbian hour. What do we got? Okay, good talk. Good talk.
I think
Girls
there's a
good.
whole lot to say that we haven't already.
That's probably true. Because we just kept mentioning here and there about them. I do very much enjoy their designs. I think I mentioned this before when I was bringing up the colored pages or whatever. I very much like the designs. I like that they're rich and mysterious. I didn't understand why Haruka immediately took the opportunity to make out with Usagi, like in the woods when they're chasing after her, I guess. Didn't understand what that was about. But that's fine. We just move on from that, and then Usagi's just thinking about it all day, the next day, and then they have like oh yeah, what was that? Say that again.
Is that illegal?
Is it illegal to make out with people? I guess not.
Unconsensually, though.
I mean, well, it's not legal if you're doing it unconsensually. I don't think that. Trying to, how do I word this?
What kind of question are you trying to ask, Shadow?
Good question. I'm not sure anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
Good talk.
Well, because this is the second time we've had just a random makeout happen. The first was when Chibiusa dropped from the sky and stole the kiss from Tuxedo Mask, who then weirdly blushed at that happening. And this time it was just Sailor Moon being like, "What? A woman kissed me. How do I feel about this?" And then thinking, and then the whole time she's like, wait, but she looks just like that guy. Are they a man or a woman? And then she like talks to him about it the next time, and Haruka is just like, why does it matter? It doesn't matter, does it? And then yeah, so that whole dynamic is established, and yeah, they reveal themselves. Neptune, the planet of wind. Uranus, the planet of water. We got, again, planets of water and wind again. Oh, did I get that backwards? Okay. Yes. Oh, yes, you're right. Neptune, planet of water. Uranus, planet of wind. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because Neptune. And I'm trying to remember. I didn't take a lot of notes for their thing because I think I was reading some of this in bed. So I didn't remember if they did anything special with like attacks or whatever once they did get revealed. Yeah, I don't know, they're neat. They're very neat. It looked like at first they were introduced to us as like a tuxedo mask and another sailor. I was like, huh, another tuxedo mask, what's going on with that? And the next time we see them, they're just, hey, we're just also a sailor. So I guess Haruka can be both. Haruka could be a tuxedo mask if she wants, or she could be a sailor if she wants.
That's what we call a switch.
Okay.
I was gonna say wild card, but
I'm looking at the photo of the professor guy right now with the Millennium Puzzle eye. Or not Millennium Puzzle, Millennium Eye. Is that what it's just called Millennium Eye? What is it called?
Close yet so far.
It's just called Millennium Eye, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm just looking at this dude's eye and I'm like, okay, so he's evil. What is going on with his eye? How do you walk around? How are you walking around with his eyepiece like that all day?
How's Pegasus doing, huh? You ask that?
Well, he seems like he covers it with his long hair. So I guess
he also seems to mostly stay inside.
That's true too. That's true.
Yeah, drinking apple juice out of wine.
I like to, so they established that the Hotaru girl, her mom died a couple years ago, I think, and now they have this girl who's supposed to be the doctor's assistant, researcher's assistant or whatever, and I think for like a moment they try to make it like, oh, what's wrong, Hotaru? Are you okay? Like the lady being like that to her, and then immediately he's like, don't be mean to her, okay? You can't be mean to her. Just because your mom passed away, you can't be mean to other people like that. And I think the lady's just behind him with like the evilest smirk on her face. Oh, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. And I'm like, wait, so does the lady actually care about Hotaru or not? I still can't tell if that lady is supposed to be a big bad or not, because I couldn't tell what we are planning to use the crystal, the whatever MacGuffin crystal for evil purposes, or if they were, like they were saying, if they were trying to stop something else with this thing. I wasn't like, it seemed like we're doing something for this pharaoh thing, but I couldn't tell if the Kaorin person was supposed to be evil herself. Is that her name, Kaorin? The evil other person, Kaolinite.
I think you're correct.
So, but yeah. So these are just things that were going through my head. But yeah. All right, so we gotta get the 3 talismans. We have 2 of them. The third one, was probably the amulet. And,
I think it'd be really neat if it was the sword.
The one from the first arc that we've never introduced again? Oh my god.
One we'll probably never see again.
We just forgot about it. We don't need it anymore. The author was like, that was a first arc thing. We've upgraded since then. That sword's kind of shit now.
I'm a big fan of the Mega Man X manga.
I got it. I know what happened to the sword. They messed with the timeline so much that the sword's just gone now. That's what happened.
I told you there's no sword.
That happened to me once.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Oh, did you lose the sword or did you cease to exist? Hold on, which one of these?
Okay. What else do we have to say? Do we have anything else to comment on, talk about, discuss? Do we have any other points, questions, concerns, theories, ideas, any hopes Anybody have anything that they're hoping for? Who are we missing for the planets so far? We have Mars, Mercury, Uranus, Saturn. Oh, not Saturn. Why did I say? Oh, Saturn's probably one that we don't have, right? Because we have Jupiter, Neptune.
I believe Sailor Saturn is the only one still missing.
Okay. Do you get a Sailor Earth, or is that not allowed?
That's kind of Tuxedo Mask.
Oh, you know what? That's true. That makes sense, actually. Yeah.
Good job, Tuxedo Borg.
That's my job here is done.
But you didn't do
Time
But
to
you
wrap
didn't do
up.
anything.
See y'all next week.
See you next week.
Because I didn't know
Is this
if.
like,
Yep.
I was gonna make a joke about this being like part of Captain Planet.
I was also thinking that, yeah. I was gonna say it's copyrighted already, so can't have a sailor.
Because I wasn't sure if like Sailor Moon counted as the Sailor Earth, but like Sailor Earth sounds too lame for us, so we chose the moon instead for reasons I wasn't sure. But also I wasn't sure if having a Sailor Moon implied that you could have a sailor for the moons of other planets as well. I wasn't sure how that worked.
Then there's too many moons.
Is there a sailor for each of the Saturn, like the rings of Saturn? Can we get those?
Well, Mars's moons are crows.
No.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Her crows. Yep.
Brother, Jupiter by itself has 95 moons. We're fucked.
You just know that off the top of your head?
Yeah.
It's a thing he does. Don't question it. It's probably related to Yu-Gi-Oh in some way. It's
It's
probably
probably-
related to
It's not.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, sorry, it's probably
We're about
Mega
to
Man.
introduce the Chiaster
No, it's not.
sisters.
Okay, so all right. Anything else anybody wants to bring up before we wrap up for this week? I think we're pretty much towards the end of this discussion.
I think just real quick to bring sort of a different perspective on things. I understand why you guys were all like, damn, I would love to see anything from the main Sailor Guardians. But watching it or reading it, I guess having watched the anime and like knowing them already, the one little bit of the chapter where it was the like birthday party, the surprise birthday thing for Rei, it was nice to see them finally act like themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
Actually
also
do something that's not related at all to being magical girls or an enemy or literally anything. It's just them being 14-year-olds. Yeah.
yeah. I did also
I mean,
enjoy the implication of
It's
time
just-
actually
not just that, but,
moving.
like even them having the personalities that I know them for from the anime, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rei getting like angry at Usagi, Ami completely misjudging what an actual birthday present would be for Rei.
Oh, yeah,
Makoto,
because
like,
she gives her
going
just
through
like a
and-
she gives her just like a study textbook.
yeah, the
Or-
study guide.
She gives her a study
like, "We'll
guide
have
and
a
she
great
goes to
time
a school
going
that
through all
doesn't
this
require entrance
together."
exams.
Yeah, it'd just be fun for us to study it together, right? Haha.
And everyone's like, please.
Just like, we don't want to think about that right now. Please don't do this to us.
Makoto having getting less, but like having made the food for the whole party and the cake
Yeah.
and everything.
Right.
And I don't know how to say this other than Minako being kind of a little shit. She's for the manga, she is so like serious most of the time, because by the time she gets introduced, the mangaka's like, all right, we gotta get through this. We don't have time for personality.
I did also enjoy that scene introducing the concept of they actually do age in this. It's not like they're
Mhm.
eternally 14.
Yeah.
And that they're even talking about like how they're going to be, you know, finishing school and taking entrance exams and all that soon. So, you know, I like that. I like that we're not eternally 14 fighting bad guys as 14-year-olds forever.
Yes, that is one of my very niche pet peeves of media that's aimed at people younger than 18 is when you have several different arcs or several different installments and they all happen within like a year, and it's like, we've had 5 different cataclysmic events happen every other month. Can we please
Go to
spread
school.
this out a bit? Please, just a little bit.
In their defense, have you paid attention to the news recently?
True, but also
Wait, what's happening?
No, that's absolutely fair. Shadow, don't worry about it.
I'm worried.
have you seen the news recently?
No, I haven't.
The
Anyway,
answer's no. The answer's no, he hasn't. So you're fine. Don't worry. Go.
Don't worry, we're not invading Canada.
It's
we're
fine.
not coming for you, Shadow. Don't worry.
It's fine. It's fine.
We're just
Alright,
coming to
you'll
your
be
house,
safe.
Shadow.
Why are you guys going to my house?
You've seen the anime, right?
It's
Shadow's
we're just
house,
gonna
you've seen it? That's
yeah,
the
we're just gonna give you some mozzarella sticks, to try. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You'll be
Thank
perfectly safe. Don't worry about it.
It's the American way.
Anyway.
All right, so
No, I'm glad they have a birthday. Cute.
yeah, happy birthday, Ray.
Happy birthday!
It's technically next month, but happy early birthday
Happy
now.
birthday!
So, and I did also notice because once I saw that Ray had the birthday, I was like, oh, let me look through some of the character birthdays to see like when the next closest one is, and I noticed Chibi Usa and Usagi have the same birthday, which I thought was funny.
That's why she hates her.
Yeah.
She
It's
gave
my
birth.
birthday.
present.
She went into labor on her birthday.
Oh,
You
it all
ruined
makes sense now.
you ruined my 200th birthday. What do you? Why
Or
would you
she
do this?
didn't
200,
go into
like
labor
1,000.
on her birthday, and that's somehow worse.
Exactly. That's why she hates her. We're all connecting the dots.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
he's stealing all the birthday presents. We all go to her instead of Usagi.
Yep, it happens every year. Every time King Endymion is like, "Hey, small lady, here's a
And
million
she's gone
things."
back in time to ruin her past too. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, that's true. That's what they were always doing.
That's true. I didn't want to tell you guys, but Chibiusa is the secret big bad of the entire series.
I liked how Chibi
I don't
Usa
think it's a
also
secret
That's not
at
a
this
secret.
point.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not
This is well
secret.
known.
Chibi Usa also just immediately revealed to Otaru, it was like, I'm Chibi Moon, and then like visited her like as not Chibi Moon. It's like, hey, how's it going? Oh, can I come to your house? Oh, and then I think the other girl had to be like, oh, I promise not to tell anybody that you're this thing, and this was like not even the thing that Chibi Usa was worried about. It's like, oh, I was supposed to tell you not to do that, I guess. She like doesn't understand these are not supposed to be. You're supposed to be secret identities here. Yeah.
It does.
Listen.
It does kind of feel like Chibiusa, once they get out of her arc, immediately gets like way more characterization than she actually had.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was part of my problem, where it's like I wanted some of that character development in her arc,
Yeah.
to be
No,
a result
absolutely.
of the arc and not just afterward. But yeah.
You get edgy Chibi Usa for a little bit. That's what
Listen,
you
I
get.
do love that design. That
Yep,
is
it's
such a
good.
good design.
It's a good design.
It is really good.
I wish we got it for longer. I wish they had like introduced Chibi Usa for an arc, and then the next arc was just her being the villain the entire time, so that she had a lot more time to like develop in some weird way for like why she's a villain and all the other things about it, like way longer than what we had there. But instead it was just, all right, I'm fucked up and evil for like a tiny bit, and then Pluto died, and my mom, the past version of my mom, said she loved me, so I guess I'm no longer evil or fucked up. Also, I have powers now. Anyways, how did we feel about this week's Sailor Moon volumes? I am enjoying the new arc a lot more, I think. I will enjoy it tremendously more if we ever have time to develop our original Sailor cast, as usual. But I'll take the little moments that I can get at least, and appreciate the fact that we're at least heavily developing the new sailors that we have so far. So, yeah.
I like this a lot better. I like the lesbians, of course, but I also like that we're finally past the Chibi versus Usagi thing, and now it's just played for laughs rather than being the main plot points. Very different vibe when it's just for giggles rather than the plot. So I like where this is going. Yeah.
Instead, we have like a mini jealousy arc between them, and then they fix each other by building a holy grail with each other.
It's granted their wish. What do you want?
Yeah, that's true. What were you gonna say, Asta?
Anyway, I'm enjoying the part with like the new sailors and whatnot, and their interactions. The villain thing is again, it's just the same damn thing the third time in a row.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. If that's all we got, I think it's time for us to wrap it up for this week. So, thank you so much, everybody, for coming. As usual, we will be here again next Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, to discuss volumes 7 and 8 of Sailor Moon. We will be continuing, so this should be chapters 31 to 39. So go read those, and we'll be discussing. I'm assuming this will probably end the arc that we're. It seems like we're on a pace of like 3 volumes wraps up an arc-ish, roughly. So we're probably going to wrap up this in the next week. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So if you're somebody who enjoys these discussions and would like to hear more about them every week, you can check us out at youtube.wolfborg.com, twitch.wolfborg.com, and kick.wolfborg.com. Or if you just go to wolfborg.com and check out my links to all of these things, we're live on all 3 platforms on the same time every week. If you are somebody who wants to be a part of these discussions with us, either on the streams or just reading along with us and discussing in the Discord with us, you can join discord.wolfborg.com, where that's where you can go in there, you can grab the book club role, and you can be a part of the book club directly or discuss things with us about that. We have a fun time, and we're going to be doing the vote once we're finished with Sailor Moon for the next series that we're going to read. And we are also currently watching the animes of the things that we have read. We just finished up Pluto this week, and next week the wheel has decided we will be starting Rosen Maiden. So we'll be watching the first episodes of that next Tuesday night. I think at around 8 o'clock is when we said we start that. So keep an eye out for that. If you want to be involved with that, discord.wolfborg.com. And we will see you all next time. Do we have anybody to raid out to? Let's see if there's anybody alive. I think Obobo might still be live. Yeah, Obobo is live with their VTuber anniversary. So go say hi to Obobo. Goodbye, gamers. Stay safe. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. In the name of the moon, I will punish you. Bye.
Damn.
The fuck you just named me? Shut the I will